After riding out a long and nerve-wracking passage from Abaco Islands to Fernandina, Florida, and sitting through several days of intense storms, we're finally back out on the open ocean for one final jump up the coast. We're about to take on our longest passage yet as we travel 370 nautical miles up to Beaufort, North Carolina. But what starts off as an exciting challenge ends up becoming one of our most frustrating passages to date, because of course it wouldn't be a true passage without a few curveballs along the way. Alright, we're out here sailing. We're all tucked in. Was not expecting to get out here and need a blanket after how hot it's been the last couple of weeks, but we are nice and comfy. So, all tucked in for the next 2 days. Right now it's a little rocky, but that's just because it's so shallow. Hopefully once we get into deeper waters, the waves will dissipate a little bit and it'll be a bit of a more comfortable ride out here. Well, if I said anything about this being a good sail earlier, I definitely jinxed us. This is probably one of our more difficult sails. If you've been following at all for a while, you know that our boat is not set up at all for downwind sailing. We don't have a whisker pole, we don't have any type of ASIM or light wind sail, and the winds are coming from behind us. So I had to turn the engine on. We have the mainsail out with a preventer to try and catch some of the wind, but it's just, I'm sure you might be able to hear it in the background. It has just been flogging back and forth, making a lot of banging noises. And then, even though the wind is coming from behind us, the waves are coming on our beam, so we're just getting rocked and rolled while listening to this. And then poor Dylan just had to go up because our preventer just broke. Not long after the preventer broke, Dylan was back up at the mast after one of our jacklines for the mainsail snapped. When things start falling apart out here and there's no place to run and hide from the pounding waves, it can start to feel like you're being pushed to your limits. Emotions run high, patience wear thin, and all you can do is just hang on and hope that it eases up. And now, one of our jacklines broke. So Dylan's back up the mast trying to fix that. We're like not even half a day into this sail. It's crazy how like 4 months in the Bahamas, everything was fine. Everything was perfect. And now we're back in the States and it's like not even a week and it's one thing after the other.
It's just f***ing annoying. Everything's twisted and caught and snagged and there's no f***ing wind out of this direction, but the swell is coming out of this way. Makes no sense.
Thankfully, it did as we were hoping for, and after a few rough hours, the seas finally settled, and we could let out a sigh of relief. First time heaving to on the boat. Decided it'd be a good idea. We had to get Aspen to go to the bathroom. It's a little bit too choppy out to take her up to the bow, so stop the boat. Worked pretty good. We're basically stopped dead. Not moving too much, even though it's pretty bumpy out here, so it was pretty exciting to get to do that for the first time and practice this. After the way things started, we definitely needed a pick-me-up. And that's exactly what we got when a massive pod of dolphins came swimming off of our bow.
There's like dozens of dolphins all around us right now. In front of us, behind us, and jumping. Whoa!
It was a perfect little reminder of why we're out here in the first place.
flying fish. We had one come in the cockpit last night that was like this big. And just like straight up nosedived the floor. Oh, wow.
Just like landed in between both of us.
Oh yeah.
It's the start of day 2 of our passage. We actually sailed all throughout the night. The wind ended up switching from behind us to being a broad reach, so we were able to sail throughout the night, and it was pretty comfortable. One thing I think both Dylan and I are struggling with this passage is we don't know what to do with ourselves during the day. Yeah, I'd like to know, like drop a comment. I would love to know, what do you guys do on longer passages? I do have a Kindle, but since I get pretty motion sick, it's really tough for me to try and read. Like if I do read, I normally have to enlarge the font about 20 times in order for me to be able to read. I don't know, I keep joking that maybe I need to get into knitting, because once I get good enough, maybe I won't have to look at it and can kind of, focus on the horizon while I keep my hands busy. But I would love to know what you guys do on long passages, because after these last 2, definitely need to figure something out, because most of the day has been spent napping. Oh, I know it's not going to show up on camera, but we can finally see land on the horizon. Our sail is still flogging back and forth because, if you can tell by the state of the sea, there is not a lick of wind right now. And if there is, it's like under 5 knots. So very calm today. Engine's back on. We're going to be motoring into the inlet. Oh, but this has been a long passage. I'm so excited to get in. But I guess with that being said, I would much rather have a boring passage than an exciting one. The sea state was pretty calm. We did have a couple of things break, but thankfully it was nothing major. Just some things that need to be replaced along our way. But yes, looking forward to some good sleep tonight and finally getting into Beaufort. Alright, we're heading in the inlet. The fishing day must be over because us and about every boat that was out on the ocean are coming into the inlet right now, along with a lot of sport fish boat. And if you know anything about the wake that they put off, being in a sailboat can get pretty sketchy. So we're keeping an eye out for all of them that are flying in right now. But if you can tell from the background and the horizon at all, we're getting rocked pretty good. Thankfully, by the time we reached the anchorage, things had calmed down substantially. Looking back at it, this passage took more out of us than we expected. Not physically, but mentally. The trip started off cool, but as the temperatures climbed, as did mine and Dylan's irritability. And between the heat and the rough start, it just really wore us down. It ended up becoming one of those passages where you just have to hit reset, let it go, and move on. We're learning that not every sail is going to be easy, and that's okay. Once the anchor was down, we finally had a chance to decompress and shake off the frustration before starting fresh on our next leg. In our next video, we'll be leaving the open ocean behind us for a bit as we hop up the ICW and continue our way north to the Chesapeake Bay. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.